All right. I think we're going. There we go. Yeah. So obviously there's the latency, so this is gonna mess me up. Gotta get used to it. All right. Well, my first stream. My name's Colin. What I wanted to do with this channel, I wanted to pretty much just make like a classroom. I'm trying to learn coding, programming, all that kind of stuff. I just went through JavaScript's course, started up a Python one. I'll go through all that in a little bit here, but yeah, I'm just for a long time I was a dog groomer, and then a couple years ago, I did a HTML course just on YouTube. Followed through, remade like a YouTube homepage from what was it, Simply Dev, something like that. I can't remember. That was on my old computer. Never put it onto a external hard drive or anything like that, and so I lost that, unfortunately. So and then after that, work, life, all that kind of stuff just kind of got in the way. I didn't really continue it or anything, and then after my computer crapped out, decided to just build an actual PC, and started learning more about computers, all that kind of stuff. I was really into it when I was younger. I used to always take my computer apart when I was a kid, and then clean everything, put it all back together. Anytime we needed to reset the operating system and stuff, because we'd always get viruses, because I'm a kid of the 90s. So I definitely used a lot of LimeWire and things like that. So you download a song and all of a sudden you have 10 viruses on your computer and you just need to completely reboot everything. So I dealt with all that as a kid, so I always loved it. But you grow up, you get away from things, and then slowly come back to it. And yeah, so I decided to build a computer, which I did, and that's the one I'm using now, which I actually used to switch the scene here. A couple of websites to help me out with that. One was this one, thelogicalincrements.com. Teaches you pretty much everything you need to know about any part of the computer. So like what the video card does, good ones of that, and obviously you look into each brand, see what's going to be best for you, and what you need. Obviously, if you're going to be playing things like The Sims, you don't really need the greatest thing ever, right? So look through if you do plan to do that yourself. But all I did, just learn more about it, and learned what was better, what was more future-proof, because I'm not freaking rich, so I wanted to make a good computer that's going to last me a few years. So obviously, going through all of this, you can see like just a little breakdown of what a CPU and everything does, and the different types that you can get. The doesn't really teach you the difference between the different cores and stuff like that. It teaches you a little bit, but definitely worth it to go look into that yourself. But yeah, just doing things like that. And then obviously Newegg, great thing for the PC builder. That's how I actually found which ones exactly I was going to go with. But yeah, then after I built my computer, started playing some games and stuff, I started getting a little bored of my career, and wanted to switch. So that's why I decided to start trying to learn code. Obviously through YouTube, everything like that, everybody has their own piece on what you should learn and what shouldn't learn. And so like what I did was I started actually with things like this, Mimo, Solo Learn. It's kind of like I call it Duolingo for code. You just go into something, do this, ask you little questions, right? So in close take, which one of these is an element? Big button, right? Boom. And it just teaches things like this, gets you to type them in. And I just found I wasn't really retaining much. The cool thing is you can do it on the go. Gives you a little bit of a heads up on the kind of things you'll be doing if you get into like HTML, CSS, web development, all that. Which, I mean, once you start, you think, oh, it's going to be easy. I just learn this. And no, there's so much more to learn, because then you start realizing that there's front end, back end, full stack. You can do data analysis, all this different stuff, depending on what languages you know, just everything that you know. Again, it's good if you're just looking to learn in a few minutes a day. Great for parents and stuff. My one friend who wants to learn coding, he has 2 kids now. He likes this because if he's got 10 minutes, he can quickly do a couple of things. But like I said, the big thing is you don't really retain it unless you're actually doing it, which I stopped doing those ones and started looking into learning more about actual programming, computer science stuff, which, of course, free code camp. Absolutely.
Welcome to Introduction to Programming. My name is Steven.
And my name
have pretty much everything, which right here you can actually see they have a website. You can do different courses and stuff. This one is the learn the HTML and all that kind of stuff. But you can get into responsive web design. You can get into actual learning JS and back-end development with APIs and Python, things like that. This is a great resource. I am going to be doing most of it throughout here because, like I said, I've gone through the JavaScript course on Udemy there, which I'll go over in just a minute, and learned so much. So obviously I still need to learn things, React or Vue or something like that, some sort of framework with it. I definitely need to get better with the HTML, CSS, because in the course he already had done most of the HTML, CSS, and then we just built the JS part of it, so it made it more functional. So that's a big thing I'm going to do with the free code camp and Khan Academy, which, yeah. Like I was saying, I went on to here. This video is actually fantastic. If you don't know anything about programming, you don't know anything about computer science, absolutely fantastic. Almost 2 hours of video. That's where all these notes come from, actually. 23 pages of notes. Always go back and forth. The one thing I found with this was it was huge for giving me just like, you go through, you learn what an array is, you learn what the equality operators and all that kind of stuff, and what a Boolean is, and cars or characters, strings, floats, doubles, things like that. Just going through here, just knowing those keywords and stuff and kind of what they are. Index, of course, you could be using the index so much in programming and stuff. So huge. Learning what a loop is, like a for loop, for each loop, all these things that you do in every single language. Just teaches you the basic syntax. It's not going to actually teach you languages and stuff like that. It's just teaching you what objects are and different types of structures and little heads up on kinds of algorithms and things like that. Differences between some of the programs, the main programs. So yeah, they do a really good job, actually. It's very descriptive. Friggin' take notes, pause, rewatch. I think that video actually turned into like 6 hours for me, because I just would keep rewatching so that I could try and get that stuff in my head. But yeah, like I said, huge just to get those keywords. You know a little bit about them. Once you actually get into like a course, they start using these words. You got a little bit of a, oh, well, yeah, of course, that makes sense. Okay, I remember them talking about this in the video. Okay, so that's what these are. I really liked that, which I think I'll continue to keep doing that when I'm learning new stuff. I find it really helps out. Watch a little video about it, just pay attention to it, maybe take some notes and stuff like that, and then you get into actually doing the stuff. If you're learning it through the video, and then you go in and you start doing the reading obviously gets a little bit more descriptive most of the time than videos, especially on YouTube. A lot of the time they try to make the videos as short as possible because our attention spans suck. So you don't get as much description in most YouTube videos if you're trying to go through with things like people like Fireship and stuff like that. Absolutely fantastic, but they go a little fast if you're a beginner. So, yeah, and obviously good resource when you're learning as well. GPT, I do like it. I'm not saying put your code in, but if you're really confused, especially during this course, when you're first learning, really confused, they put up example codes. Throw that code in because you don't understand when they're describing it. Throw it into the GPT. Explain it to me like I'm 5. Boom. All of a sudden you're like, oh, I understand. Especially when you get into the object-oriented programming, getting into like the async await, stuff like that, really starts getting kind of confusing. And you start forgetting like, oh, well, how do I use this here and all that. So, yeah, GPT, YouTube, Reddit. I do like Reddit. Obviously, take that one with a grain of salt. A lot of trollers on Reddit, but there is a lot of really good ones as well. But yeah, once I finished the intro course here, which I guess I could probably throw that in the chat. Boom. So yeah, that's the, go check that video out there. If you're looking to just start here. Boom. Close all these, we don't need them. And then yeah, this was the YouTube or the Udemy course I used, that I was just talking about, with JS, which actually, back it up a second, I actually started with this one, got to day 26. So it was actually a Python course. Angela, the 100 days of code. So you do 100 projects in 100 days, while learning Python itself. Very fast paced. It was very intense at the beginning because I was obviously lost and like, what the hell is going on? But after a few days and you're doing it every single day, you start to remember more and more and more. But I was doing this, and then my girlfriend's boss at the time, I guess she had run some coding schools and stuff like that, and she was telling me to learn something other than Python first, because the reason I chose Python, supposedly it's very easy. It was one of the easier ones to learn, and so I went with Python, and was learning a lot. But what she was saying is it's best, especially if you're going to be looking into most likely starting in web development or app development or any of those, to go like a full stack, start with JS. Much harder language to learn, much more complicated, and it'll make it much easier to learn other languages, which, I mean, I don't know if it is, but I'll find out once I get back to doing this Python course, because I will go through this, just because 100 projects in 100 days is awesome practice. I might, obviously, since I've already done some, I'll probably try to burn through a bunch of these projects again. I'm just going to redo them, burn through those projects again in hopefully a few days, depending on how life is and how busy I am with grooming some dogs, because that's obviously, I'm still doing that while I'm learning. Yeah, I mean, I apologize too if I'm all over the place. First time doing a stream, so yeah, this was a good one.
Hey guys, welcome
once she was telling me she'll learn the other one, I decided, okay, I'll go find one. This was one of the top rated. Reddit, Instagram, everything. I found a lot of people saying this guy was great, and he was. Jonas Schmidtman. Follow him on Twitter, things like that. But yeah, obviously Udemy always have sales. They always have their sales. It's worth it. $14.99. I've got a lot out of this course. I can actually show you. We'll go over kind of some of the stuff we did here. Where did you go? Let's go down to, so like this was the final project. And let's just pop it up. Whoops. I have it all on the GitHub, but I don't want to pull all that up right now. So we're just going to do it through parcel. So as you can see here, I've already got some stuff on here because I just haven't deleted them. But you can make it so you can look up things, learning APIs, everything like that. He made his own API for this course, the Forkify API, and essentially you could put in keywords: pizza, pasta, freaking avocado. I don't know how to spell avocado clearly, so you could put in just sauce, I think. Yeah, see, different types of sauces and stuff. Gives you all these. Made it so that we can change the servings. You can bookmark it, go to another one. See, go up here. Oh, look at that. I can just go right to these. Change the servings. It changes all of these as well. As you can see, highlight them there. You can see them changing. So, I mean, it's pretty good practice. Even learning the pages because there's so many different ones. Boom. There's still a lot of things I can add to here as well, which I'm probably going to, making it so that you can actually go back to page 1, back to end page, changing things so you can add recipe. Obviously, I just have these in place. You would want to get rid of those as the way if you were actually putting out a full project. But again, it was mostly just learning. Didn't really bother to do that. But yeah, you can do this, upload the recipe. Recipe was uploaded. Don't know why that happened. Boom. And test 1, 2, 3. There it is. Look at that. So yeah, you learn quite a bit. And as you can see here, the different code, package.json, learn how to deal with that. The Git, different views and stuff. Of course, you learned cleaner code because could you imagine all of this code in one long ass string? But yeah, learning to do that, learning how to use handlers, fetching from APIs and things like that, which that stuff's, it's pretty intense, but obviously you just gotta continuously do it. If you're, like I said, if you're confused, just keep looking things up, things like WA. Here we go. Oops. Why is it not showing MDN? Why is it not showing MD? And oops. MDN, things like this, web docs, awesome. So you can just see different things, look up, I don't know, things like this, so you can learn the spread syntax and stuff. That too, this course went right into like the ES6. Oh, sorry, I just dropped something. The ES6 syntaxes, things like that. You learn. It's a fantastic course. If you're gonna learn JS, definitely would recommend it. Obviously, if you don't want to spend any money, that's fine too. But yeah, really good. I found it very good. See, one thing I'm not good with yet is doing all of the, where did you go? Oh, that's the JS. All of this stuff. So this is what I was talking about. I need to redo some HTML and get this HTML, CSS. So that should be over the next couple of weeks, which I'll just do on stream. I figure we'll be doing some coding and stuff like that on stream as we're learning. Yeah. Of course, things that I've got the VS Code. I also have PyCharm. That's for actually coding Python. Though you can do it in VS Code. The one that she was using was PyCharm. A lot of people recommend PyCharm for Python, so figure I'll stick with that for now. But yeah, and then along with that, obviously there's going to be days where you didn't get enough sleep, you're just in a bad mood, you can't pay attention, especially me. I'm pretty sure I have ADD. And not just saying that, my brother has it and everything too. So yeah, there's days where I just cannot pay attention to absolutely anything. And have a very hard time to concentrate. And so on those days, coding isn't the best because then you just get frustrated because you're going to screw up. You're going to start making mistakes. You're not going to figure it out because you're getting worked up, especially at the beginning when you're learning. Very hard to do your error error handling and stuff when you're brand new and you just keep screwing it up because you are not in the right headspace. I'm not saying take every day off, obviously, but sometimes you're going to want to take a day off, maybe two, depending on where you're at, especially if you're doing a big project, can't figure it out while you're learning, keep your brain fresh. Yeah, in the meantime, when on those days, that's when I come over to the Khan Academy and do some stuff. They've got everything. These guys are great. Anything you can think of. I first started with looking at this one, the AP college principles and stuff, like college computer science principles, rather. Starts with digital information. You go through all that. Then the internet, and then I realized that afterwards, there's actually just to start it off, the computer. Oops. There we go. Where is it? Computers and the internet. Digital information. It starts with the same thing. Pretty much all the same, but you actually learn a little bit more. This one is actually pretty cool. I really liked it because you learn more about bits, bytes, binary, how to convert to binary. You start learning about, like, obviously ASCII, stuff like that. You figure out hexadecimal, and that's when you can learn. That's how you learn how different letters and stuff in keyboards and different characters are stored in memory and stuff so that they can be used, and learning all that kind of stuff. Really cool stuff. I liked it. You move into the computers part. You learn more about, again, much like I was talking about earlier, just learning more about the actual bits of the computer, CPU, GPU, that kind of stuff, file sizes, file types. The internet one was really cool because I actually learned quite a bit that I didn't know about the internet, how it worked, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, you know a little bit, you know the basics and stuff, but this one actually gives you pretty good introductory bit that actually is quite a bit of information, up to and including packets, routers, all that kind of stuff. How each protocols and stuff like that, and then obviously it all builds into going into the online data security, which that's what I'm doing right now. Not very far into it. Been a couple of days. Definitely need to get back to it. I don't think we'll be doing too much of that on today's stream because it's mostly just the introduction stream. This one's already been 22 minutes too, so let's go with boom, and yeah, so once you get out, once you finish those ones though, these ones get sort of more into a little more detail, like the online data security one here I realized, oh, it's mostly just stuff, but you do get more stuff like this, where I haven't done those yet because it's just more the more detailed version of the regular computer and the internet, just like the college computer science principles one. It's just more so, just more information, more detailed as you go along. So yeah, if you're going to do that, you just start with the computer and the internet one, slowly move on to the other ones, because like I've finished these two just from doing the actual computer and internet one, but there's way more. Even eventually getting into the computer science theory, so you can learn more algorithms, cryptography, information theory. This one I'm looking forward to, JS, the drawing and animation, which obviously I want to do because we'll get into my plans for my first 3 projects I'm doing on my own, because I've just been doing projects of other people put up, and it's okay, finish this, cool. So that one, and then obviously doing some free code camp. It's a lot. I'm sure people who are smarter than me and better at time management can do it much quicker, but I'm not terrible with all that stuff. It's just life gets in the way. Like I said, I got those days where it's hard to concentrate and gets me frustrated when I start screwing up the code. So figure out other things to do while you can keep learning and stuff. Obviously, there's lots of books you can read too. Some that you can probably find free online, if not audiobooks. Yeah, so that's pretty much where I'm at. That's where I'm at on learning this stuff. I'm gonna move into, obviously, we're learning more React, and like I said, the actual frameworks. Which, yeah, I mean, I know a little bit. I know about Parcel. I know that kind of stuff. Node.js, learned all about that already, but I want to learn React, Vue, more HTML, CSS. Got the JS, but obviously need to work on more JS so that I can really hone it in. And yeah, like when you finish, if you do the projects and stuff, this final project, look over all the code, try and remember exactly what each thing does, follow it through. It's awesome. Go try that out. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I got for today. I think, yeah. So, I'm gonna call the stream there, and yeah, I hope I get some people watching in the future, because like I said, the main thing for all this is I kind of want to create a classroom. Anybody that's learning this kind of stuff, they can either come in, they can help me, maybe I'll be able to help them, maybe just chat about stuff if we can figure things out. Yeah, just like a classroom. So but like I said, that's all for today, and you guys have a great day, and we will talk to you soon. Peace.